All right, bottom right-hand corner. It is GUMIHO. And the top left, he is Zest. All right. This is going to be good. All right. Psystorm versus Dragon Phoenix Gaming. I believe Psystorm currently sitting at, what is it? 3, no, not 3 and 2. 4 and 2? Aren't they? Are they? I think they might be 4 and 2. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think Psystorm right now is, ooh, let me check. I should have done this beforehand. Yeah, Psystorm, oh, 3 and 3, never mind. Okay, wow. Yeah, so Psystorm currently is sitting at 3 and 3. You do have Dragon Phoenix Gaming, of course. The third 5 and 1 team of the, I think it was actually 4 teams that were sitting at 5 and 1 coming into this week. Of course, we had that broken. Team NV did end up dropping to Shopify Rebellion, who went up 6 and 1. Team NV now at 5 and 2. Dragon Phoenix Gaming, though, the other team that is still sitting with that almost perfect score line, right alongside Alpha X, who also went up 6 and 1, facing off against, I believe it was SSLT. Was the team they ended up facing. As what is this from GUMIHO? Also, hello, I'm TitanOnFire. Welcome to the Alpha X channel. Hope you're all having a great day, night, evening, wherever you are. But anyway, Observer, please, can we get a shot of this? Who proxies a factory? What? GUMIHO getting a little bit spicy here with the build in game number 1. Of course, this is Pride of Altaris. This was a map that I don't think GUMIHO wants to play. I mean, obviously GUMIHO doesn't want to play a long game on this because Pride of Altaris is pretty Protoss favored in this matchup. It's very Protoss favored. I need to check the win rates on it actually, but it's not a good matchup for the Terran, and so GUMIHO is going for the proxy factory. No. What is this? Is that out of vision? Oh, well. Okay, never mind. Well, Zest sees it. You know, I would have loved to see if that was actually out of vision until the probe came over. I think it maybe could just be seen by the cybernetics core, I'd imagine, is what just barely saw that. I don't know entirely, though. As the Hellion's going to pop out, a Widowmine is also in the production tab as the proxy factory is going to try its darndest. The Hellion actually gets out. That is Hellion 1, Zest 0 in this game. As, yeah, the Widowmine's going to pop out. I don't actually think the Widowmine's going to get too much value. Yeah, it's just going to burrow. It's going to force Zest to respond. He is going to go for the shade trick. And, of course, this is something you can do with your depth shade, where if you time it out right, you can get, you can get the Widowmine to fire right as your shade. What is going on? Zest, you're going to mess it up again. He's doing it too late. But there's a... What is this game? GUMIHO, he doesn't want to play this map. He's just going to sacrifice the probe. Zest doesn't want to deal with this. That's a fusion core. What? As that Oracle is going to try and go back. And now there's a Marine drop, which is going to look to depower this Stargate. But the Oracle is already out. Still just going to look to snipe down the pylon. It can just do just that. Pick on up because there's no anti-air. And it's a battle cruiser. And Zest has to know something is up, but he's putting down a third Nexus, as GUMIHO is right now on one base. And yeah, I mean, this is... If you've ever seen a Terran show their dislike for a map, it is GUMIHO right now, going all out with the craziness on Pride of Altaris. Actually, he could just get that pylon. This is a really annoying position. As, oh, GUMIHO, no, focus the pylon. It's an Oracle, and that's pretty worthwhile. That was the high energy Oracle as well that was across the map. Phoenix is on the way. Battle Cruiser is halfway done. And what is the anti-air? It's a Stalker. It's a Phoenix. That's not a lot of anti-air for a cattle cruiser. I'm not trying to analyze this game. If you guys can't guess, I'm not analyzing this first game. We're taking the punches as they roll. The factory has finally returned home. Welcome home, my factory. It has been too long. The second and third barracks are on the way. The teleport is going to come through. There is a Phoenix. That is the anti-air. An Adept is going to get caught out. GUMIHO. Oh, the Phoenixes aren't even in the main. They're going across the map. Oh my, oh my. The shield battery is going to do its best here to heal up a lot of these probes, and it will do a good job, but instead, GUMIHO will just focus the shield battery, decides against it, and then just goes back to shooting down the... Ooh, Medevac is going to get on out. But BC has, I mean, denied mining here in the main, which is already a great start here for GUMIHO, as Zest has a Void Ray on the way, is warping in more Stalkers, but mind you, 3 Stalkers, they still don't actually win this fight against the Battlecruiser, especially without the Micro. As the Medevac is still being annoying, you're going to see the Phoenix now brought over. They're going to do a little bit better here, but the Stalker will still go down. Void Ray almost down. I would like to see GUMIHO go back towards that mineral line. Instead, just going to look for the D-Power here onto one of the gateways. He's going to wait for that tactical jump to come back up. Doesn't have it quite yet, and mind you, Void Ray is on the way to try and hunt down the Battlecruiser. It's going to be a bit of a tight timing here for GUMIHO. I don't know. Is he going to get the tactical jump in time? Just comes up. GUMIHO, though, doesn't pop it. Oh, GUMIHO! Loses the BC. That hurts for the Terran. Especially when you're looking at a 51 probe. Protoss currently on 3 bases when GUMIHO has just now established his own natural. Oh my. Well, this game has somehow turned into a normal PvT, aside from the fact that there's still a Battlecruiser on the map. I mean, it's Stim, the combat shields +1. GUMIHO is, he's preparing for a timing attack, as you usually would if this was just a CC first, so... Gonna be interesting to see how Zest does handle this. Has a second Void Ray on the way, which I have to feel is a little bit... I mean, obviously is a little bit telling that Zest right now does not have any clue into what GUMIHO is doing across the map. Because that second Void Ray, I imagine, would be to help deal with the Battlecruiser if he builds. But after that, those Void Rays are not going to have altogether that much value. And so this is just a case, I think, of Zest not wanting to get into, or not wanting to build a super high amount of Stalkers, because he already has more. And so the 2 Void Rays just mean that this Battlecruiser absolutely is not going to be able to really do any damage. Zest should not be fooled by this. So, fun fact, you can actually tell where the Battlecruiser is tactical jump to by where it points. The BC will point in the direction of its tactical jump before completing it. And that one was towards Zest's main. There was only one place where that jump was going, and Zest is completely bamboozled by this. The BC is going to make its way back on in. There is a cannon there to help deal with it. And of course, without any Yamato cannon, this BC should eventually be forfeit. As GUMIHO at the front is going to try and stim on in. Zealots getting low shield battery overcharge was popped just to help heal up the cannon. And a great morph there of the High Templar to get some Archons out. The Zealots are doing work here at the front. GUMIHO's attack is going to be shut down. The BC falls. 3rd command center is on the way, but GUMIHO has been very, very inefficient at the start of this game, and it's a 4th Nexus on the way for Zest. And this is the part of the game that Terrans really don't want to get into against Protoss on this map. You know, when you have the Protoss going towards 4 or 5 bases, when you have them reaching this massive economy, and, you know, the chance of them getting the gold base and then swelling Zealots, it's gonna start to get very, very rough here for GUMIHO in just a few seconds. Of course, does have the Ghost Academy on the way, so you'll have those EMPs. And of course, that's kind of a catch-all for the entire Protoss army. It gets rid of shields, and so that will deal nicely with the Archons. And of course, had this been High Templar with Storm, you could also deal with them. There's 3 Ghosts on the way, +1 armor. Is going to round out the 1/1 upgrades for GUMIHO, but Zest already also has his +1 completing for both his attack and armor upgrades. And so I mean, this game is so weird. I'm trying to analyze this like a play-by-play, but there's nothing really to analyze. Zest is going to look for an attack, and realistically, the Protoss has every lead in the world right now, and Zest should just kill the 3rd. you don't need to go into the natural, just kill the third Zest, and that's exactly what it's going to do. Zelts are running on in. I mean, this is a great position from GUMIHO. You know, this is a really nice spot, but the Zealots are eventually going to get on in. You're going to see the SCVs fall, and it's just so much Protoss here that the Terran has no way of dealing with. GG is going to be called. Zest is going to take game 1. Gosh, he's handsome. All right. Top left-hand corner. It's GUMIHO. And the bottom right, of course, it is Zest. Bit of a better map here for the Terran. Curious Minds, obviously, a bit more even Steven situation when it comes to how much each race is going to favor the map. But yeah, that game won. I'm still. That was what even was that? Like I'm still recovering from the fact that it was Proxy Factory float into the main, which gets nothing done, and then a hidden fusion core. The battlecruiser doesn't get anything done either. Obviously, Zest is probably feeling pretty good about this series so far, picking up that win in game 1. GUMIHO, I mean, I think it was very obvious, did not want to play that map, and you know, don't really blame him. Again, it's a hard map for Terrans to play on. It's the Protoss has a lot of advantages they can take advantage that they can use, you know, with the map size, with the gold base and the base positioning, especially with the ramps. It just kind of lends itself towards an easier kind of flow of the game for the Protoss. That's not gonna be the same on Curious Minds. This map, it's a lot easier to look for those 2 base timing attacks. We saw that GUMIHO tried to transition into one off of his failed opener, but was not really able to do so. And again, the usual Terran timing attack in this matchup is going to be your +1/+1, or your +1 attack, stim combat shields, and you just have your M's, your Marines, Marauders, Mines, and Medevacs. And you're gonna walk those across the map. You might team it up with a drop if you go for the later variation. So there's essentially 2 kind of ways that you can handle that build. You go for the Widowmine drop opening, of course, and that looks like what we're gonna see GUMIHO do is go for the Widowmine drop opening, and then you don't think you can go for the immediate 645 timing attack. You're like, oh, the Protoss has a little bit too much. I want to spend some time, you know, I want to wait a little bit. So you wait for an extra round of Medevacs and Widowmines. You wait for an extra round of production, get a double drop loaded up, and you end up sending that into the main while you're also pressuring the front is an option. You can just apply light pressure, having a single Medevac drop into the main while you have some units at the third, just trying to distract the Protoss while you also get into your additional barracks. If they end up going Colossus, you're adding on Vikings from your starport after the initial 4 to 6 Medevacs. You don't go very high if it's going to be those early Colossus. And so we'll see what the plan is going to be for GUMIHO. Now, he didn't actually go into the Widowmine drop like I thought he was going to on this map. Instead, goes straight into the Cyclone and the Medevac. So more than likely is going to be something akin to 4 Marines and a Cyclone loaded up in a Medevac, and that going across the map potentially, or might just be GUMIHO getting this out for an early Marine drop. We saw he did that in the last game, actually had some pretty good success with it even when he was behind, as that Oracle is just going to sneak on by, and that's not the best for the Terran. Of course, you want to be able to scout that with the Cyclone, and Cyclone should actually be brought back to try and chase this down alongside the Medevac. I think the Oracle can just get on out here, though. It's actually going to snipe an SCV as well, and that's very, very nice for Zest. You pretty much get a complete idea of what the Terran's doing. The Oracle will go down. Can't get to the high ground quick enough. And it's going to be Phoenix from Zest once again. Now, this is a very interesting build from GUMIHO. Tank on the way, of course, still has the Marines and the Cyclone. And it's a very, very early push that he is preparing for. Has the Medevac, of course. Has actually 2 Cyclones that he's produced with this. And mind you, there's going to be a Viking on the way as well. Lock-ons go down. Of course, if you knock down that shield battery, It's going to be a good start, but a pickup onto the Cyclone here is going to be very, very nice for the Protoss. Cyclone is the main DPS, another pickup. Zealots are fighting quite well, but again, it's going to be a slower fight. As you're going to see, the Cyclones are going to go down, and that's a very, very nice start here for Zest. It should mean that he's going to be able to hold this as more Phoenix, of course. Or the Phoenix are going to be trying to build up energy, but you're going to lose a few pylons. GUMIHO is just going to knock those down with the landed Viking, trying to see how much value he can get. Snipes the Oracle, and that's already a very, very nice start. And without Blink, the Viking actually does very, very well against these Stalkers. Zest is eventually going to have to pick that up, but you now have a tank here as well. Oh, Phoenix getting focused down. And GUMIHO's actually making this work with the tank here now. More Vikings coming through, more Vikings in production. That's going to be the shield battery knocked down once again by GUMIHO. And when you just have Stalkers here, they don't fight well against these Vikings. You need more Phoenix, and Zest, I don't think, got enough. He actually has a mineral bank that he's not able to spend, and the third base is going to go down. As there's SCVs here, GUMIHO says, listen, I can actually work with this, and he absolutely can. As the Nexus falls, and I mean, already I feel like that's enough value here for the Terran. But the fact is, GUMIHO's going to look for more now. Has 3 Vikings on the ground. How often do you see this push with landed Vikings? GUMIHO says, I don't care about your Phoenixes. I want the DPS, and it's doing wonders. You underestimate the damage of Vikings, but they, on the ground, Vikings do so much damage. They're now going to pick back on up. They're going to be able to knock down those Phoenix a lot quicker in the sky as the tanks are being inched forward. We have missile turrets being placed down. The 2-base all-in is still continuing, but behind it's also 47 workers here for GUMIHO. Zest is trying to replace his third, and I don't think Zest realizes how all-in GUMIHO is. There's no third command center in sight, and ideally you're just trying to hold this as the Protoss, but Zest, I think, has not respected this enough. It's 2 tanks, it's 4 Vikings, a whole bunch of Marines. A Cyclone has been re-added on. Vikings are going to get picked up here. One of them is going to go down. Get up into the sky, knock down a Phoenix, and the Vikings here, again, going to make sure. Flank coming through here from Zest with a few Stalkers. The bunker, there's no units in it, so Zest, this is his best chance, but he's fighting into the clutches of GUMIHO. GG, Zest did not respect it. 1-1 start to the series.